How big of a win is Miguel Vargas' development for the White Sox? This is the White Sox mini pod with the king looking the same as you always look. Just
the exact same thing he wore last night.
Fat, black, and camel.
How's
that?
Yeah,
it's a good combo.
It's a good combo.
I think you've done a little yoga today via the Raid app. That's why I see a flexibility in you, right?
There is a little flexibility. I played some dodgeball last night, so I needed it this morning.
Yeah.
I went to bed with the soundscapes.
Yep.
And then I got in a little breathing this morning. And then did a 20-minute yoga.
Sometimes you don't need the soundscape when Miguel Vargas is just hitting home runs. Sometimes that just puts you to sleep naturally.
Maybe they could put a Miguel Vargas into the soundscape on the Raid app to make it even more sleep well.
Well,
I just want to let you know, though, by my girlfriend Jackie, who I just moved in with in our official house together via the Raid app. Unbelievable that they were able to get me a mortgage. I don't know how they did that, and a great rate. But she learned how to make a matcha on the Raid app at like midnight. She's making matchas out of. I'm not kidding. This actually happened. Download the damn ass Raid app right now. Let's go.
Amen, sister. Let's go.
All right. Let's go here. You guys, this is the Miguel Vargas story. Sean, can you give? I know, King. You got big thoughts on this, but why don't, for those who are not following along closely at home, just relay how this has gotten to be to this point.
Well, the biggest thing that we've been talking about on the CHGO White Sox podcast is the rewriting of the history about the Eric Fedde trade from last year. The trade in the moment is the trade in the moment. How you felt in the moment is the trade, right? Like the things after the trade and before the trade really don't matter to the actual point of if the trade is good or not. It's what you do with what you actually acquire. And that's the story of Miguel Vargas. Chris Getz was able to go out and hire Ryan Fuller, who was very highly heralded from Baltimore for being a teacher of the game and of hitting two hitters. And the fact that they've been able to take Miguel Vargas after his terrible start with the White Sox in 2024 and the start of April and be able to slightly adjust his hands, get back to where his minor league stance was, and now he's a top 10 hitter in Major League Baseball in the past 30 games. Like, it's unreal. In the first 64 games, he had 2 home runs. The past 31 games, he's Mike Schmidt. Like, it's an absurd change.
Now leads the team in homers at 8, leads the team in RBIs at 26, leads the team in on-base percentage at 323. King, you falling in love?
I actually fell in love with him at trade.
Okay.
And here's why. He was platooning Dodgers, correct?
Yeah. And bouncing around, like playing second base, left field, third base, first base.
Platooning around. This speaks to positive mindset. That guy came in and said, you know what? I wasn't getting the playing time I wanted and needed to become a big-time ball player in Los Angeles, and I'm happy to be here to find my spot. So that's half the battle. Right. Mindset's half the battle. So he came in open-minded, and you're bringing it down to a coach, which I think you're right, but you got to be open-minded to be coached. Mm-hmm. And he wanted it, and he's showing it that he wants it.
Absolutely. And two, I mean, they just moved him over to first base, and he was really doing well at third base. So you'd think that might be even another thing on top of this. And what has he kept doing? Hitting the ball.
He wants to play. He's a kid that wants to play ball.
The Mets, he hits a double in his first appearance against the Mets yesterday. The next 2 plate appearances, they throw him 8 straight balls. He's on first base twice. Yeah. Like, I mean, it's just an absurd change to where, he was so distraught in Oakland last year. It's like he's embracing the change, and he's just so confident that I didn't even think the confidence was going to be there. Like the resume of being a former top 100, like the skill has always been there, but the confidence, that's absolutely new. Yeah, I mean, it's extremely new.
Let's get in the nerd numbers here. 1.7 WAR. No, nothing gets baseball fans more excited than the WAR number. Who else has got a 1.7 WAR or even 1.8? Let me just bend the rules just to drop here onto a 1.8. We're talking about guys like Paul Goldschmidt. We're talking about Pete Alonso. We're talking about Randy Rosarino. We're talking about Marcelo Ozuna. I mean, it's a nice little, it's good, decent company for Miguel Vargas.
It's a good club.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I mean, the past 30 days, for weighted runs created plus, he is in the top 10 of Major League Baseball with Cody Bellinger, Shohei Ohtani, Aaron Judge. I mean, everyone that you expect. And he's in the top 10, like above Alex Bregman, who just signed a $40 million contract and has been playing very well for the Red Sox. Like, absurd.
Did you hear those names? Shohei Ohtani. I heard that name. Would you say that? Well, that's a big name.
By the way, this is going to be absurd. But go ahead, Mark.
No, well, I'm going to go back to baseline. Who gets the most credit here? Is it the trade itself and Getz, or are we going to give Will Venable a ton of credit?
I guess that's the point that I'm trying to make, is that it's not about the trade. I could do it. I could look at the former top 100 prospect and see that Miguel Vargas is a former top 100 prospect. You could do that. I could do that. King could do that, right? It's about Chris Getz believing in Miguel Vargas believing in himself and adding 20 pounds this offseason. And then it's Chris Getz being able to make the right hire in Ryan Fuller, and then Fuller being able to work with Vargas. It's the fact that Chris Getz has been able to do all of it. And the fact that the White Sox have actually been able to develop a hitter, something that seemed so foreign. I mean, when we were, rebuilding in 2021, like we got all of this talent in Robert, Magkata, Aloy, and they couldn't find any of this. And they just unlock it with Vargas with a simple hand change.
Super Sean.
Yeah, it is Super Sean. And here's the super question of the day, which the super question of the day is brought to you by our friends at rate.com. Download the Rate app right now. Do it. Don't even wait a second. Pre-approved for a mortgage in minutes. They got a home equity loan or a personal loan for you in under 15 days if you need that. They've got the best homeowners and auto insurance also on the Rate app. Literally everything. Plus the 800 free wellness videos. That is unbelievable. Meditation, stretching, eating, living right, feeling good, everything on there. I'm telling you, your life gets better on the Rate app. And by the way, it's free, no cost. And you don't want to download that QR code right now? That's fine. Go in and enter our CHGO Summertime Sweepstakes. We're hooking you up with baseball tickets. Cubs, Sox, Cubs. I'll say it the other way. Crosstown Classic, Rate Field, July 26th. All-inclusive food and drinks. You get to sit in the unbelievable suite right behind home plate. The Rate Club suite is incredible. All you got to do is go to allchgo.com/rate. allchgo.com/rate. Put in all your information. We're hooking you up. Courtesy of this guy. 2 tickets. All you can eat. All you can
No
drink.
purchase necessary.
No purchase necessary. Everything's free. And your health goes up. Everything goes up. And if you need a mortgage, miraculously, I got one. I don't know how I did it. Rate.com. Thank you so much. All right.
Yeah, gee, I wonder how you got it.
To next. Well, he did help. I believe I was.
You qualified.
I qualified too. Somehow. So here, look, to get guys like Miguel Vargas, you have to make trades, and we are getting to trade season. And I mean, are you going to freak out if they trade Luis Robert, which I know they would like to do, but yet the value's not there? I mean, what is the strategy right now with Luis or anybody else as far as getting the next Vargas, some value that they could pluck out here that can launch you? Because that's what you have to do deals like they did and win them shockingly in ways that you can't expect to get there.
He has to be worth something.
Right.
He himself said he would not trade for himself.
Well, right.
Well, I mean, yeah,
He's not playing well.
And that's the thing, too. I mean, June can be a month that we completely forget Luis Robert Jr. was bad in April and May. I mean, he can get that hot. And there are some peripheral numbers that show that he is still the same athlete that he was in 2023. The contact just hasn't been there. And I think that could be adjusted. And again, if we're believing in Ryan Fuller, we just have a little slight hand adjustment, and he's got 30 home runs and 25 stolen bases.
And he's doing the other 5 tools, the 4 tools, really well.
Well, and the frustration is like, he gets injured against New York, and it's making a fantastic effort on a ball in the left center gap that he overslides somehow.
He's stealing bases. He's doing all the right things. He has the right attitude, but he's not playing well enough to get good returned assets.
And Carm, that's like the guy. I mean, there isn't really a person that I think the White Sox will move at the deadline that will get them a significant piece a la Vargas. I mean, even you look at that trade too, Alexander Albertus was supposed to be the bigger prospect, and Gerald Perez is having one hell of a time in Winston-Salem. So, I mean, it just seems like the depth of that trade was kind of overlooked. But I don't think that they're going to have a trade that has that type of depth unless Robert comes out of this slump, because that is the guy that has value on this team. And the money is, digestible. Benintendi at $17 million, he's going to probably have to keep hitting 20 home runs. He just hit a left-on-left homer against the Mets. If he keeps that up, maybe, but it's a stretch.
And Benintendi's under contract for more than a minute right now. He's under contract all the way through. Yeah, all the way through 27. All right, listen. They've been playing better baseball. I think you're feeling better about the team. You told me before, White Sox fans, come out to,
it's a different vibe. Get out to the ballpark. It's a different vibe. You'll get it. It wasn't like it. The record's similar to last year. The vibe is not.
Right.
The veterans are talking to the younger guys. The younger guys are energizing the veterans. There's a good vibe at the ballpark. They're playing some good baseball, solid baseball. They need a closer, and they need to hit more.
In 18 wins, they have a plus 80 run differential. In 38 losses, they have a minus 120 run differential. When they win games, they are winning them by much more than when they lose games, right? Like the difference, when they win by a lot. When they lose, they sometimes lose by a lot.
When they hit, and they don't hit that often.
Yeah, it's really frustrating when they lose 1-0, but at least, they were in it for 8 innings. Like, you couldn't say that last year. And, it's the same price to go to the ballpark this year as last year, and you're getting a much better team.
And you just mentioned the closer. I think there's a guy, by the way, I think his name is Grant Taylor down at Charlotte, who's coming on. I know that he's, I believe, King, you found that there's some interest for this guy to perhaps be up later in the year.
I've heard the name.
Okay, you've heard the name.
Yeah, I've heard the
That's
name.
all we'll go? Okay.
Yeah, a few times.
Okay, a few
and
times.
There's promise there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's stuff. He was selected in the second round of, I believe, the 2022 draft, and he was in the same college rotation as Paul Skeens. And there were questions at LSU on who had the better, on who had the better arsenal, on whether it was Grant Taylor or Paul Skeens. And the biggest thing with Taylor is he's shown it at a low level. I think last year he had 20 strikeouts and 2 walks in like 18 innings. Like he was dominant as a starter. It's just been they haven't found that length for Taylor. He can go 3 innings and nothing really past that. So what I think is unfortunately the truth with Taylor is maybe they want to maximize his full potential, that he's better off as a closer and just abandoning ship on him being a starter because he might not have that gas tank that a starter has. So it's an interesting player because he possibly could also just be a dominant starter. They're trying to work through his first full major league season right now in Birmingham.
Any possibility to trade him for Skeens?
I don't think that Pittsburgh would do that. I would say yes right now. I mean, if Pittsburgh wants to do that.
21 and a third innings, double-A action, only 10 hits, struck out 28.
Mark has great hair.
Thank you.
Now he has a great hat on.
That's exactly right. Hey, as the captain of this White Sox mini-pod, thank you to our friend the King. Sean, of course, for all your White Sox content, is just absolutely dominating it in ways the Super Sean in ways that nobody I thought was possible. So just keep rolling. we all know this. And hey, download the Rate app today. We will see you next time. Shout out to you, Miguel Vargas. Congratulations to the White Sox on 5-1.